All right, we're here at the beautiful Miami Springs Golf and Country Club. We're honored to have Dariel Fernandez, who is running for Miami-Dade County Commission District 6. Dariel, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, everybody. As you know, I'm running for Miami-Dade County Commission District 6. My name is Dariel Fernandez. I came from Cuba 22 years ago to this beautiful country. This country gave me the opportunity to be where I am now. I have a beautiful family, my wife Carolina, and we have two daughters, Elisa and Anastasia. I have my small company for about maybe 12 years. We do software, we have a small business, and I think one of the most important part we do is that we help a small business to be successful. We do software, we do a lot of marketing, digital marketing. I say every day that I say thank you God for this opportunity to be here in the United States. So I started in Radio Paz 8:30 AM, Radio Peace 8:30 AM. It's a radio station here, a Catholic radio station in South Florida. I've been involved with my community from the beginning. I'm a member of the board of La Salle Foundation. It's an organization that helps a lot of people here in South Florida, low-income community. Also, I am part of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce board, and we help business here in South Florida.
So, and you have that immigrant story. You came from Cuba, came to the United States, and making the American dream come true, starting your own business, raising your family, and now running for office. So tell us, what motivated you to run for Miami-Dade County Commission?
I remember all the time when I came to the United States, as you mentioned, try to find out the American dream. And I think the American dream is what you try to do every day, to be a better person, to have a better future for your children, and also for the community. And I think it's important sometimes to give back to the community. As a matter of fact, I'm joined to the Coast Guard Auxiliary here in South Florida to help this beautiful country. So one of the main reasons that I made the decision to run for Miami-Dade County Commissioner District 6 is because I believe in this community. I know the community, and I'm part of this community, and that is the only support that I am looking for, my community. It's important that we have a government that listens to our residents. It's not just to listen, it's to find the best solution for the resident.
So if everything goes well and you get elected in August, what would you say are your top priorities if you get into office?
We have different issues here in Dade County. So and it's important that the community know this. No, when you receive any advertising from the politicians, they wanted to resolve everything, and that is impossible. Nobody going to get there and going to resolve every single issue that is right now. So, but my one of my first priority is transportation. We need to try to work together, government and different companies, to try to bring a real transportation system here in South Florida. Second, low income housing. The people need, the government need to start working more closer with bankers, with insurance company, with construction company, to find out the real solution for this big issue that we have right now. The rent go out, the people try to buy a new house and they don't come because the rent is expensive and the salary is the same. So we need to find out the real solution with our residents, because we wanted that the people stay here in South Florida. And the third thing is the elderly person, the elderly people here in South Florida. They need a real help. It's not just because a lot of time a politician just give them pastelito, cafecito, and it's not like that. We need to help that people, because at the end, the people that have right now 70 years or they have 80, they are the one that create this beautiful county. So we need to they need a real help. So I will try to do my best to help these people, to help my community. But the only way that we can do that is with my community.
All right, so you said transportation, housing, specifically affordable housing and low-income housing, and helping out with the elderly, many of which are on a fixed income, and with inflation and
small business. I forgot the small business.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I coming from, I have my small business. I know, you know, sometimes a small business need help from the government. For example, for permit, I have a lot of case with permit small business. They are a restaurant. They have they already opened the restaurant, but they cannot start you know, working because they need some permit, and the permit sometimes you spend like 1 or 2 years to get a permit. You know, and this small business is the one that move our economy, is the one that create job for our community. And I think that is important to work. The government need to work together with a small business to give the tool that they need to create, to be successful, and I think that is important.
You know, it's something that has come up. One of the candidates brought up the concept of concurrent permitting, where someone doesn't have to come in and they tell them, oh, you got to change this, and then okay, they go and change that, and then tell me, oh wait, but now you also have to change this. Like, why didn't you tell me everything I got to do in the first place?
You know, it's, for example, I have a case, a resident, they ask for permit, and the city, in this case, because you know the Miami-Dade County is divided in 13 districts. This is District 6, and have part of different city. You know, have part of City of Coral Gables, that have part of Miami-Springs, that have part of Hialeah, that Virginia Garden, and City of Miami and West Miami, and have different unincorporated area. So specifically, this resident spend like 2 years to get the permit to fix the bathroom. So when they ask for the permit, they ask twice. To then they need a master permit, and you know you only can get one master permit for a property. So in this case, everything is a mess. So we need to find out the best way, and we have the tool, we have the technology to move, you know, the permit system here in South Florida in Dade County.
All right, so making the permitting and promoting businesses, obviously, and that's it. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because promoting business is great for the economy, and it's great for hiring and getting people, you know, increases in wages. It also is another thing that helps draw people. As the economy does better, it inherently draws more people to Miami, and we already have a lot of people coming over to Miami through migration from other states because of the fact that the state of Florida doesn't have income tax, as well as migration coming from other countries. So with this massive migration happening just to Miami-Dade County, it's caused obviously this housing where we have this overwhelming demand and a lack of supply. So when we talk about housing, and you know, it's an issue that we've asked all the candidates, tell us of housing. I know you mentioned low-income housing. Tell us how some of the ideas that you would have to address housing, whether that's, you know, building, you know, increasing supply. Give us, you know, more of your thoughts.
It's not just to construction, because you know, a lot of people, when they think about the problem that we have with housing here in South Florida, they just think that they can start construction, but you need to create infrastructure, you know, because you cannot just building without transportation, without, you know, the other things that we need as a county, no? And for example, if you, right now, there's the issue to try to move the UV line. So if you, for example, you're going to Homestead, you have a big land over there, and you have a construction over there. If you have people living over there and they have a job here in the downtown Miami, how they going from there to here every day, you know, the transit going to increase. So the people need, and it's my point of view, no, the people need to have the housing near to their job. So that way they maybe sometimes they don't need to use a car, right now the gas is expensive, so maybe if we have a better infrastructure in transportation, they can use that instead to go far away from other part of the county, driving every way. People are spending in the entire life maybe 2 or 3 years driving the car. It's crazy, and that is something that we need to address right away.
So you believe, if I'm reading you right, transportation is one of the ways to actually improve the housing situation by improving the transportation. So let's get into that a little bit. Are you proposing extension of rail, more, let's call it like metro rail, or like more metro movers, like in between? Tell us a little more of some of your ideas.
Yeah, for example, everything that's going to help our community. Are going to try to push that, because for example, if we have like a train more to the south, that people can take the train and go into the downtown and create like a real transportation system. Right now, every single city they have the shuttle, around the city.
Right.
You don't have the way to communicate. For example, Miami-Springs with Doral.
Sure.
So it need to be the way to communicate that, every single city transportation system to the other city. So that way I can go from Miami-Springs to Doral to City of Miami, to City of Miami to Coral Gables, and that is the only way, because it's not just construction.
Right.
You need to have the way to move through Dade County.
And do you see it as more as using the bus system, or like some like smaller maybe metro movers that connect the neighborhoods a little bit better to each other?
Yeah, the metro move will be a good idea. So I think they have a proposal to create a metro move from downtown Miami, I think, to Miami Beach.
Right.
I think that will be good.
Yeah.
We need to find out the way to use our taxpayer money for their needs. Try to find out the way to use that money for our community. It's insane that you have too many people here in South Florida. You cannot use a transportation system. For example, if you wanted to go now to Miami Beach, how much time do you spend from here, Miami Springs, to Miami Beach?
Yes.
It's crazy,
It also depends on the time of day, and I know myself, and I'm an early bird, but you're right. It's what is, let's say, in the middle of the night or early in the morning, a 15-minute drive because it's really quick to get from here to the beach. But one of the things, and I think you mentioned something, and I talked to Councilman Vasquez, one of the candidates, about this as well, is that there's metro rail, with the exception of going to downtown, doesn't have that's the only, Brickell and downtown is the only real quote unquote destination, where we know that people come from around the world for our beautiful beaches, and having, I think, adding that metro mover connection to the beach would help get more usage, as opposed to just the Monday through Friday, but also recreational usage of our transportation system. Since we're talking about transportation, something that's come up and we talked about off camera is the RTZ, or the Rapid Transit Zone proposal from Commissioner Gilbert, and where they want to, the initial proposal, and I'll preface this and say Commissioner Gilbert's done an amazing job in terms of reaching out to communities, because he kind of drafted this as a proposal, but he's wanting feedback from the different communities, and the communities have given them, some of us have freaked out, including here in Miami Springs. But the concept is that the county, working with the cities, increasing the density around the transportation hubs. So let's say if there's a metro rail station, having more density, more apartments. The concept is workforce housing for people that are working, to be able to live near these transportation hubs for that. What are your thoughts on that, and what are your thoughts about municipal control over certain areas? Give me your opinion.
Everything that the government going to do need to have the feedback of the community. We need to listen our community, what they want, and that is the most important part of the government. The government cannot do anything without the community feedback. But in that case, I think it's, will be very idea if, for example, if you're going to bring a metro rail sample here to Miami Springs, if you have the way to create apartments near to that, metro rail, is good, because that way the people can stay living over there, and they can use the transport, the public transportation over there without take any other way to go. Because right now, for example, the people in Hialeah, they wanted to take the train. They need to go to the station, leave the car,
Right.
walk to the train, and go into the downtown, for example.
Yeah.
If you can create building apartments that people can live over there,
Right.
it will be will be good for the community also.
And then I think if what you're also proposing is, hey, having extensions and or feeders that come to those stations from, let's say, a Metro Mover type
Yeah.
System to help people
That
move around.
can be a good idea,
One of the things, and I, we were, I got my daughter here off camera with me as well, but we were in Boston, and the transportation system there is amazing compared to what here. Now, granted, it's all underground and et cetera, but we have a far greater population than they do in Boston, and yet they have a far superior transportation system than we do here. Now, I get that our transportation is more expensive because we can't go underground. We have to build up, and building bridges, which every metro rail that's over is bridges, is expensive, and we have to make everything Category 5 hurricane compatible.
Yes.
Because of where we live. So building here, obviously more expensive than building in other areas, but to become, Miami's growing. At the end of the day, it's never stopped growing. It continues to grow. So if we look into the future of what Miami can be, I think we're all in agreement that we need a much better transportation system.
Yeah.
And the investment required to make that, let's call it world-class transportation system. And we are so far away from world-class today.
No, and definitely we need to invest in transportation system here in South Florida, especially in Miami-Dade County. And we need to find the resource. We need to find the resource state. We need to find the resource federal government, whatever. But and also we need to investment on that. It's not just to say, hey, I'm going to launch this idea. I'm going to get the money, but where is the money going? We need to find out the money, and we need to fund in this project, because in that case, is one of the issues that we have here is transportation system.
One of the other things that I wanted to bring up, and it's near and dear because of Miami Springs and Virginia Gardens, is the issue of annexation. So we've had this thing hanging around our heads for about 20 years, and just for the folks who are tuning in, the Miami-Dade County passed basically a rule that says that the county doesn't want to have any more enclaves and kind of bubbles of unincorporated Miami-Dade County. So everything west of Miami Springs was unincorporated until the city of Doral became a city and it incorporated. It then created this bubble of unincorporated Miami-Dade County. And so each of the cities wanted to kind of grab that part. There was a little bit of squabbling at the beginning. That was resolved pretty quickly. There was a 4-city agreement. Everybody was happy. Doral gets its part, Medley gets its part, Miami Springs, MBG. Miami Springs has already voted twice in favor of annexation by the residents. What are your thoughts on annexation? And we're getting closer to maybe it happening, but I'd like to get your feedback on annexation.
Okay, as I always say, government need to listen the community. In this case, the communities already spoke. They wanted one part of the community, because we have the other part of the community that is the owner of this factory, this warehouse, and I think we need to come into the agreement. For example, if you go in one part of the community, of course the tax is going to low. Is the part that live here in Miami Springs. Of course, the other part that have the warehouse, the businesses that is over there, the tax is going to increase. But at the end, sometime when that part of the unincorporated have any issue with, and some first responders need to go there, the one that the going first is the city police, is the city fire, and that is important also to put in context. But at the end, I think we need to come together as a community and make it the best for living here in South Florida, in this part of the Miami-Dade County.
All right, so we're getting closer now where the election day is getting closer, and early voting is starting soon, and mail-in balloting. As we get closer to that, when does mail-in start? Do you know when
the mail-in start this Friday.
This Friday.
Friday.
So the mailing will start this Friday. So people can start mailing in,
Yes.
and then early voting will start.
Early starting in I think around 8 or 9 of August.
And
It's
then the
2
election
weeks.
day is August 23rd.
Yeah, election day is August 23rd.
August 23rd.
Yes. And my ballot number is 111.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah.
So, I asked this to all the candidates at the end. Tell us why they should vote for you.
Okay, as I mentioned again, my ballot number is 111. So, why you need to vote for me? Because I'm part of this community, and I think if we as a community together, we can fight for a better future for Miami-Dade County. We have too many things to do in our county. The only support that I'm looking for is my community, and that is something important because, as a member of this community, as a father, I have 2 daughters. I wanted the best for my daughters, and the only way to do that is if you going to vote and if you start involvement in politics. A lot of people say, no, I don't want to vote. I don't want to be involved in politics. Okay, if you don't want to vote and you don't want to involve in politics, later you cannot say, oh, why they're doing this. No, they're doing this because our community need to engage and need to start asking questions to the government, and that is something important. The only thing that I can tell you is that I'm going to work hard. I'm going to continue work with you in my community, and this is not only for Dariel Fernandez. This seat will be the seat of the resident of the District 6 here in Miami-Dade County. Again, my ballot number is 111. I'm going to continue knocking doors, listen to my residents, and try to find the best solution for the better future of Miami-Dade County.
And Dariel, for those who are watching who want to learn more about you, can you share your website where they can, if they want to donate or learn more about your candidacy?
Okay, you can go to my website. My website is DarielFernandezDistrict6.com. Over there, you're going to find out all my information, English and Spanish. Anything that you need, my phone number is there, my personal phone number. You can call me, you can ask questions, you can talk to me. And here also to tell you that I wanted to open door policy. I wanted that the people start thinking about me like a part of this community, because I am part of this community. I wanted to be there for you all the time.
Dariel, we really appreciate you coming down and meeting with us here in Miami Springs, and look forward to the election. So again, folks, if you need more information, it's Dariel Fernandez, District6.com. You can go to his website, learn more if you want to donate or participate with his campaign. And again, early voting starts soon. Most of the ballots actually come in before Election Day. So if you're going to either vote by mail or vote early at the polls, or do like I like to show up on Election Day. I feel like there's something about the Election Day. I like doing it in person on that day. But anyway you vote, make sure you go out and vote is the important part. And we appreciate all the candidates, including Dariel, for joining with us and letting everybody kind of get to know the different personalities and everyone's point of view. So we really appreciate. And again, we appreciate you putting your name out. It takes a lot of energy and effort to run for office, and really appreciate that. And that's part of a democracy.
Yeah.
And I love your story in terms of coming to this country, starting a business, and making the American dream come true. And now you're running for office. So we really appreciate that and wish you the best of luck on Election Day. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.